Every time you say yes to this, you silently destroy your future. And the most dangerous part is this: you don't even notice it happening. Have you ever felt that people come to you only when they need something? Have you ever cancelled your own plans, your rest, your sleep, or your peace just to help someone who disappears the moment they are done? If you've ever felt that quiet tiredness that no amount of sleep fixes, this story is for you. Because sometimes, life teaches its hardest lessons through the people we care about the most. In a peaceful little town, surrounded by long green fields and calm old houses, there lived a man named Elias. Everyone in the town knew him. If a bicycle chain broke, they called Elias. If someone needed help carrying boxes, they knocked on Elias's door. If someone felt lonely and needed a listener, they went straight to Elias's house. Elias never said no. He always smiled and said, "Of course, I'll help." He believed that helping others made him a good person, and people praised him for it. They called him kind. They called him generous. They said the town wouldn't survive without him. But slowly, without Elias even realizing it, his life stopped belonging to him. His garden stayed half-cleaned. His windows remained broken. His roof needed repairs. His own problems piled up quietly while he spent his days fixing everyone else's. Every night, Elias came home exhausted, covered in dirt and sweat, collapsing into bed with no energy left for himself. His mother watched this day after day. One night, she looked at him with tired eyes and said, "Elias, my dear boy, you help everyone, but why does no one ever help you?" Elias smiled gently and replied, "It's all right, Mom. One day they'll remember my kindness." But that day never came. One evening, the sky turned dark. Heavy winds began to sweep through the town. People rushed outside to protect their gardens and belongings before the storm arrived. Elias ran out too, but not to save his own things. He went straight to help his friend Oliver, whose tools and equipment were still lying outside. They worked fast, covering everything and moving it into the shed. But while Elias was saving Oliver's belongings, his own garden furniture remained outside. His plants were uncovered. His wooden boxes were still open. Then the storm hit. Rain poured down relentlessly. The wind whipped through the town. And by the time Elias finally returned home, almost everything in his garden was destroyed. He sat on the front steps, rain dripping from his face, staring at the muddy mess that used to be his peaceful space. His mother came out quietly, placed a warm towel on his shoulders, and said, "Elias, today you saved everyone's things except your own." Elias didn't say a word, but inside him, something finally broke. The next morning, tired and confused, he walked to the edge of the town to visit old Mr. Harris, a retired teacher known for his wisdom. Mr. Harris lived in a small cottage by the river. Elias sat beside him and said, "Sir, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I help everyone, but I feel empty. I feel tired, not from work, but from people. Why does kindness feel like it's destroying me?" Mr. Harris looked at the river flowing slowly beside them and said, "Elias, look at this river. It gives water to trees, birds, animals, and farms. But when it rains too much and the river forgets its boundaries, what happens?" Elias thought for a moment. "It floods," he said. "It destroys everything." Mr. Harris nodded. "Exactly. Kindness without boundaries becomes self-destruction. You are kind, Elias, but you have no limits. You run everywhere for everyone, but nowhere for yourself. You think saying no is wrong, but sometimes saying no is the most honest form of self-care." Elias listened silently as Mr. Harris continued, "For the next 7 days, don't say yes immediately. When someone asks for help, pause and ask yourself, will this cost me my peace, my time, or my strength? If the answer is yes, say, not today. Try this." The next morning felt strange. Around noon, Oliver rushed over and said, "Elias, please help me move a heavy box. I need you." Elias looked at his broken fence, something he had ignored for months. His heart wanted to say yes. It always did. But he remembered the river. He took a deep breath and said, "I'm sorry, Oliver. Today I need to fix my own fence. I can help later, but not today." Oliver stared at him in disbelief. "You're saying no?" Elias nodded quietly. Oliver walked away, clearly upset. Elias felt guilty, but he stayed where he was. Within a few hours, the fence that had been broken for months finally stood strong. For the first time in a long while, Elias felt proud, not because he helped someone else, but because he finally helped himself. The next day, neighbors came asking for small favors. Elias politely refused and explained that he was busy. That evening, instead of feeling drained and used, he felt light, calm, peaceful. A few days later, heavy rain returned, and Elias's roof began to leak. He waited, hoping someone would knock on his door the way he always knocked on theirs. But no one came. Not a single person. Instead of anger, Elias felt something new, strength. He picked up his tools and fixed the roof himself. It took time. It took patience. But when he finished, he sat under his repaired roof and whispered, "So this is what it feels like to depend on myself." Days turned into weeks, and slowly Elias became a different man. He stopped running everywhere. He stopped sacrificing his sleep and peace for people who never showed up for him. He began waking early to care for his garden. He cleaned his house. He invested time in himself. And something unexpected happened. People started respecting him more. Oliver began solving his own problems. Neighbors stopped calling for every little thing. The town was still friendly, but Elias was no longer treated like a tool that could be used at any moment. His house looked better. His garden flourished. His face looked lighter. And for the first time in years, Elias laughed without feeling tired. One afternoon, Mr. Harris visited. He looked at the healthy plants, the neat yard, and the peaceful smile on Elias's face and asked, "So, Elias, did the world fall apart when you stopped saying yes to everyone?" Elias smiled and replied, "No, sir. My world finally started coming together." Mr. Harris nodded gently. When you stop saying yes to everyone, you finally say yes to yourself. So let me ask you, are you like Elias? Do you give too much? Do you say yes even when it hurts? Remember this, saying no does not make you selfish. It makes you strong. It means you are choosing peace over pressure. Your time, your mind, and your heart are precious. Protect them. Because the moment you start respecting yourself, the world finally does too.